with you doing what
That's wrong. You're wrong.
to support you, sir.
You're wrong.
This is Russ Chaney. Please leave a message and I'll return your call as soon as possible.
Record your...
This is Russ Chaney. Please leave a message and I'll return your call as soon as possible.
Record your...
Business owners, my fellow citizens, this is Guberman. That intro is very disgusting in some ways. The first one was a Mr. David Levy, who in 2013 came to a speech that I gave for the American Society for Quality, both of Fairfield County and also the New Haven County branches. He was there to size me up and to see, he was sent there specifically to see if he could unhinge me and make me look bad. After it was over, now this is my word against his, after it was over, he congratulated me and he said, Daryl, there's nothing we can do. You're good. In fact, I will let you read his actual statement again. You heard it a little bit noisy there, but he said, there is no restriction on you doing business unaccredited or accredited. And as I said before, ANAB has no problem with what you're doing. In fact, we support you, sir. I didn't need their support. As a matter of fact, this video today is about the inconsistencies of quality. The other gentleman you heard was Russ Chaney, who in 2022 was not only involved with ANSI for many, many years, American National Standards Institute, but he was their nominating chairman. This video is about bias, Infects manufacturing oversight, and Daryl Guberman, CEO, explains it. I'm going to show you. In June, they had an open session there, ANSI did, so that you can become a director at large. I figured, why not put it in? So I put a 54-page document into ANSI. This is actual. If you want a copy of it, I will gladly send it to you. 203-556-1493 and or Daryl, TQRS, at yahoo.com. There were 16 letters of recommendation from our customers. I had to answer a 9-page questionnaire as to what it is that Daryl Guberman could bring to ANSI. Now, I would not bring half a nut fuck you to them as Russ Chaney. Not only that, their CEO, Joe Bathia, approves and condones of it. And also, their lawyer, Jameson Carroll, should take his crackerjack law degree and look again, and maybe they've got that jack on the whatever. Anyway, he said he didn't hear it, he doesn't know it. You'll see it as this video continues. But the funniest thing is that at the end of these 9 questions, where I answered very good answers back to them, but we have Russ Chaney there. And I'm not going to read it to you, but you can read it on your own. I'll hold it here. Hopefully it's going to not get too fuzzy. But, you know, if it does, and it looks like it's a little bit blurry, I will read it to you. The committee appreciates your interest in serving in an ANSI leadership position and your willingness to provide us with additional information. Sincerely, Russ Chaney. Now, in 2019, I did a video concerning A2LA because Pamela Sale, who was under deposition, said there's inconsistencies in quality, as I've said. And we took a look, and we looked, and we found out that A2LA sits on ANSI's board. Now, A2LA is used in many government facilities, sheriff's departments, DNA labs, all the rest of this, and they've had failure after failure after failure, skewing the results, etc. There's a lot of data. You'll find all the mess down below in the description part of this video. They also sat on the IAF, incorporated in Delaware, but at the time, between 2015 and 2021, they were controlled and influenced by communist China. The chairman of IAF was Zhao Jinwu, who is also the chairman, actually the chief executive of the China National Accreditation Services in Beijing, China. What we did is we looked into this matter. We saw there was an issue. I did the video. A woman, Ashley Morton, wrote underneath that video saying that they are separate entities, ANSI and A2LA, they don't sit together. They're two accrediting bodies unto themselves. You know, and I did another video. Russ Chaney called me, okay, and you heard it, half a nut, fuck you. Why he did it, I have no idea. Does this show what ANSI represents? Of course it does. He's a representative. So let me continue with this. Business owners, my fellow citizens, Bias Affects Manufacturing Oversight, and Daryl Guberman, CEO, will show you and let you know. In today's global economy, agencies have been created to develop universal standards for manufacturing. While the concept of international accreditation is unarguably of value, what has emerged is a global monopoly ill-disposed to many small businesses that are the bedrock of the U.S. economy. As a consortium of conformity assessment agencies, the International Accreditation Forum, along with ANSI, the American National Standards Institute, and ANAB, are supposed to develop worldwide standards for assessment that assures businesses and the public of oversight and reliability and competence. But this forum is infected by political considerations, cronyism, conflicts of interest, and adversarial influence of the regimes of North Korea, Iran, China, Russia. Business owners, it's a sad state of affairs. The fundamental character of this forum is exclusionary, squeezing out small businesses that are certified authentically by accredited agencies outside the membership and denying these businesses access to bidding on profitable contracts, possibly inconsistent or policy inconsistent with the principle of free and open competition without deception or fraud. That gentleman, Dave Levy, was a Region 3 director of the ASQ, the American Society for Quality, who said, yes, we have no problem, ANAB supports you, all that stuff. At the time, they owned ANAB 50%. 50% they owned it. So I had a thumbs up, which we didn't need. In 2016, Randy Doherty sent us an email that consisted of this. But we recognize and accept that there are conformity assessment bodies and accreditation bodies, such as your body and your accreditation body, that are not part of the IAF and ILAC structure. So we had him basically recognize us again. Now, this is a full recognized recognition from ANAB because of Randy. At the time, Randy was the technical advisor on ANAB, and he was also the principal on the IAF Tax Report Incorporated in Delaware. We also got an invitation on the same email that asked us if we wanted to, we can join either ANAB or the IAF. Everything is voluntary. Across a spectrum of industries, smaller companies are left with an inability to complete because of the forum's expensive charges of certification for everything from consultants, travel costs, training, and manual writing. And they're told that they cannot consult with the business that they're looking at and they're evaluating for certification. To reestablish an egalitarian platform, or egalitarian platform, for free enterprise and restore the integrity of the international marketplace, the universal certification process should be thoroughly examined and redefined by an independent investigative authority. And you're looking at him. We went to New York to picket ANSI because of Russ Chaney being the chairman of the nominating committee. This is not sour grapes. You heard what he said in 2019, half a nut, fuck you. Thus, that is ANSI's mantra here. In fact, if everybody remembers Mitch Miller, the orchestra leader, let's try it again. Shall we? So business, my fellow business leaders and my fellow citizens. So we're looking at this and we're saying to you this, that there is bias and affects manufacturing, and these organizations do it. All I wanted was an apology. Yet business owners, as we can see in these sample panels here, you take a look at this. Yes, Russ Chaney said that, and yes, that is ANSI's, those are ANSI's words because he is a representative. Any lawyer, but we have to watch it in the legal arena. Because ANSI and the American Bar Association are basically probably trading Valentine's Day cards in February. It's coming up, We sent a letter to Joe Bathia concerning my concern for that audio tape that a representative of ANSI left on the phone. We, as you can hear it, you heard it, half a nut, fuck you, and we sent it. Joe Bathia passed it up because he's got no management skills. He is not a leader. He's a face making a lot of money and doing nothing. He's got probably technical background, maybe, could be, possibly. It's a bad Jackie Mason rendition of a comedian out of sorts. You have Russ Chaney sent a letter to Joe Bathia. He pushed it up to Jameson Carroll. Jameson Carroll said, after analysis, we were unable to identify any harassing or objectionable content in the brief audio file provided. They all state, all I wanted was an apology. Now I want them to personally apologize. I went there to New York. Didn't see anything. There's no sign outside the building in New York City that says ANSI. I went down to L Street on Northwest 1899 in Washington, D.C. I was there as well. You'll find those videos down below. There was no sign. And on top of it, ANSI has a board which is made up of government agencies and members of the quality community. Also, their membership, all the members must approve and half a nut fuck you. And our government, who sits there? The FAA, the FDA, the FTC, the FBI, the DOJ, the DOD, all of these organizations, EPA, many federal agencies and corporations like Pfizer and Boeing and Johnson & Johnson and Lockheed, and all of them have poor quality. Maybe he was talking about half a nut fuck you. The whole thing about ANSI is they talk about impartial. We have something that we have to say, impartial must be like half a nut fuck you. They are not impartial at all. I wanted to try to do a short video, but you can't do a short video with this. This quagmire has accrued over 40 years. So I'm going to leave it here, business owners and my fellow citizens. I leave it here because there is bias and it affects manufacturing oversight. I just want an apology back. And these jokers should be fired. From Joe Bathia to Russ Chaney to Jameson Carroll, their incompetency is pervasive. And it is absolutely disgusting. I want equivalency. I want that equivalency because, as you see, Dave Levy said, here it goes. We have no problem. We accept you. Excellent. And a thumbs up. That's 50% approval. And then we have Randy Dory. Randy Dory said, but we recognize and accept there are conformity assessment bodies and accreditation bodies such as your body and your accreditation body that are not part of the IAF and ILAC. And by the way, and this is the pinnacle of it all, okay? You have him, inviting us either to go join ANAB or IAF or both. But the sad thing is, business owners, that the liability of the IAF and ILAC fall on ANSI-ASQ-ANAB. Because in this article, Randy stated on their 20th anniversary for the IAF Incorporated in Delaware, stated that the IAF and ILAC, International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation, and the International Accreditation Forum are sister organizations. On this website, it stated that ANSI-ASQ-ANAB are underwriters for both IAF and ILAC. And for those of you who are not legal privy to legal jargon, this is what an underwriter is. An underwriter is any party that evaluates and assumes another party's risk for a fee. So that means they will try to get away with a situation where they say, we only certify the system, not the product. As a quality professional for 40 plus years, if you have systematic issues, you're going to have quality issues at the end, middle, beginning of the product. That's the way it is. They try to get out of the legality factor. But right here, you have the proof of the pudding that ANSI-ASQ-ANAB, because nobody has written me yet saying otherwise, here it is on the website, took a snapshot. The snapshot was taken on 8/25/2018 at 10:05 p.m. from this website. It no longer exists there. Once I exposed it, it goes away. Underwriter, exactly. And the last thing I'm going to say. In 2017, Randy Dodry, the gentleman I saw that said if we want to join ANAB or IF or both, we could do that, didn't want it. The reason why we didn't want to is between 2015 and 2021, the IAF, where ANSI and ANAB sat, were watched over by a communist national, Zhao Jinwu, who was also the chief executive of the China National Accreditation Services in Beijing, China. And as a proud American, I wanted to be independent from that mess, from that communist mess that Zhao Jinwu was mandated by Xi Jinping to take freaking data, business owners, per China National Intelligence Law, Article number 7. So if you think I want to join that crap, and especially the reason why I wanted to join ANSI is because I figured I might be able to change their job description. Have a nut, fuck you. I'm going to leave it here, business owners. My telephone number again is 203-556-1493 or Daryl, TQRS, @yahoo.com. I thank you. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm sorry for the length of the video, but as I said, this has been a long time, a very long time in coming, and you need to be informed. And I hope you take it and run with it.